So every time we grow and our friends don't, they're left with two options. They can either try and pull us back to where they
Mhm.
are so that they can stay with us, or they can push themselves to make themselves up to the next level.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So those are my five.
Okay. Let's expand a little bit more about this last point that you make because we a lot of people talk about how to deal with failure. Very little people talk about how to deal with success. And we have a lot of cases in this podcast, on the top of the podcast, 5 step how to make your first million. Even the previous interview, we have Amy, I guess, that she has an exit of a company, and I don't know that she got a lot of money for it, and she bought a beautiful house in Florida, and she has a brand new car for the first time in her life. The VCs that took the company fired all their employees, and now the woman is everybody at home. The family goes to kids go to school. The husband is going to work, and she's crying all alone at home, and nobody can even feel sorry for her because what what to feel sorry
Oh, I
about? You
can.
just exit for um for £1 million for a lot of money your company. So it
Yeah.
comes it comes to the and I have also personal experience as well where I auto sabotage myself and I opened a restaurant and I lost over 200,000 and 2 years of my life and my girlfriend and everything because of success. Also, my first business in the real estate, we managed to sell over 5 millions, and the business got to the point that my team sent me home. They told me we can run this business without you, Harry. So then I decided to auto sabotage myself and open a restaurant. It was a big disaster, a big failure, and I lost 2 years of my life. My girlfriend, my other business also collapsed because of this, but you don't know how to handle this because and more stories in this broadcast. Oh, more and more and more
Oh,
we have
yeah.
here of successful entrepreneurs that auto sabotage just because there is no clarity what they really want.
Yep.
In my case, it was again no knowing how to deal with success and feel uncomfortable with all this money coming to me without doing literally anything. I was not used to that. My parent was not used to that. Nobody was used to that. And I'm thinking that there is something wrong with me. That how come all this money is coming to my bank account and I'm not doing literally anything, just going
Yeah.
2 hours a month to my office. Not even go to the office. My general manager will come to me and inform me what they're doing with the business because I was even taking the decision. They were taking the decision, so they just coming to inform me what they were doing, and I'm just okay, very good. You are amazing. You're 100 times better than me. So.
Yeah.
So what's your
Well, I mean,
point, Kelly? Why nobody talks about this topic, which is how to deal with success? Why, and and could be a recipe for disaster
yeah.
because you
Well, and
can't take a bad decision. You can lose all like that. I've seen
yeah.
people that we interviewed this podcast have actually shared the stories that they work really hard. They make a lot of money. They bought the house of the dreams. They bought whatever they want, and after they achieve all this, they are sitting in this luxury house. And this is what I did all this work for, and they start to feel a bit uncomfortable. And 2 3 months down the line, they take a wrong decision. They lost
Yep.
everything and more, and they end up in the couch of the mom.
Yes. And that happens. It happens more often than we want to think. And the
Oh
reason we
yeah.
don't talk about how to manage success is because, especially in the US, it's all about the American dream. And the American dream is you get there and you have it and you're there. And I did that. I was, when I was 28, I had the American dream. I had the
Wow.
trophy husband and the big house and the successful business and the
On
I
top
was
of
on the
the
board
world.
of a nonprofit. I by the outside standards, everything was check, 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 check for the American dream. But on the inside, my husband and I were in a cold war with each other. I was burned out at my job and could barely manage to deal with it because I was so fried. I was hiding in the nonprofit trying to justify not going into the office. And my life was, I was miserable. And I looked at it, I was like, I did the American dream and I feel like I was lied to, right?
Hmm.
And so I actually just leveled my life at that point. I divorced my husband. I sold the business. I quit the
Wow.
nonprofit and I moved out of state to
Wow.
live
That
with a
was a
bunch of people. It
drastic
was
change.
drastic, drastic, huge change, right? Because I was like, this isn't what I want. And I just was like, start over, right? And this is what I see with people is I didn't sabotage so much as I just was like, nope, I made a conscious decision that this was not the path I wanted. And I started over. But when you are, again, this is an identity thing. So the person who sold her business and was sitting there in tears, I totally get why that is because her entire identity was wrapped up in that
Gone.
business.
Exactly.
And now she has no identity and no purpose and no focus and no reason to be. And nobody feels sorry for her and she can't
The
process with
opposite.
anybody.
The
Right.
opposite.
Because, right. And it's devastating to lose your identity. It is devastating. And so, I absolutely understand why she was having that experience. And I have a lot of compassion for that because it's very difficult. But we see it all the time, especially in like sports stars, right? The sports stars they'll come out of nowhere from nothing and suddenly they've got all this money and all
Hmm.
this fame and they have no idea how to be the person that they're being put forward as. They're being put forward as this role model and they're like, I'm just 23 years old and I don't know what my head from a hole in the ground, but I can throw a ball and I don't know what to do with this. I'm going to go drink myself into oblivion, right? I mean
And
that's
then
an identity issue.
70% file bankruptcy, and they cannot
Yeah,
even can afford the medical bills from the Super Bowl
exactly.
players after the short career as a sport finishing because they don't know how to handle money, they don't know how to manage money. They
Well, they don't
number
know how to
one.
be the person they've become. They don't know
Hmm.
how to be that person. So they act as though they were the person that they were before. And
Hmm.
that person never had money, so they will blow the money so that they don't have it, right?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
yeah, it's about not knowing how
And
it's
then
not
they
about
do have the
they don't have
commitment
the
to the
skills.
neighborhood because they grew up in that neighborhood. So now
Right.
they don't have identity if they not connect with this neighborhood. And now everybody in the neighborhood know that you're a multimillionaire. So everybody come and ask you money to ask you for
Right.
money, and you, of course, you will give away the money to the everybody in your neighborhood that wherever you grow up that need help because um who are you if you are not there for the people that you grow up with? Who you
Well,
gonna
because
become? And then who they're gonna choose as managers? They're gonna choose their family member that doesn't have any clue what to
right.
do. And then you will have your dad. Maybe your dad doesn't have a job, so there you go, daddy, you have a job, you will represent me. So the whole recipe of identity get a lot mixed up, and unfortunately, it have a really negative impact in them when they look at
Yeah.
because they didn't know what they didn't know, and again they coming with one identity background that they are all about the community, all about the sport, about the people that support them when they're growing, and they feel in debt with that community, and that community is not that taking advantage. The community see, well, this is my mate, my colleague is now is a multimillionaire. Well, I need some money to pay my rent. So
Yeah.
can you please help me?
Well, and it's more than that for them too, because it's also an issue of belonging, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
they want to continue to belong in a place where they don't belong anymore, right?
Exactly.
And
They
that's
have
part of
become
the
a
issue
different
too.
person with different level of success, and now they need to start to hang around with new people,
Yeah.
and same like when I started my first business. When I went out with my friends and I told to my friends, I was I just started the real estate business, and then I'm very excited. I go to see my friends. We go for a beer in a pub, and then everybody's talking about what they're doing, and then I'm going to say, okay, you're not gonna believe I have this business, and these are my clients, and I'm making this money and this, and nobody cares.
Yeah.
No one cares. And I'm
Well,
like, oh
they
my
they don't care
God,
because they
it
don't want to be
means that
jealous. They don't want to they don't want to feel like they're behind. So every time we grow and our friends don't, they're left with two options. They can either try and pull us back to where they
Mhm.
are so that they can stay with us, or they can push themselves to make themselves up to the next level. And most people don't want to do that.
Mhm.
And then so that
I
leaves the
realized
third
very
option, which
quickly, oh
is you
my God,
split,
I'm about to
right?
lose all my friends
Yeah, and that happens
because
a lot.
that's
It
what happened
happens a lot.
actually.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
perspective today, now all my friends are entrepreneurs. I
Right.
don't know anyone that apart from my family and apart from my family, in my circle of friends. They all are entrepreneurs. So I had to
Right.
create a new group of friends, and a lot of them are showing up to this podcast already. Over 500 millionaires already entrepreneurs have been interviewed here, which is we have I can say that I have a lot of friends, but I had to start from zero, building all this relationship because it is. It didn't happen when you started your first business. So a lot of change goes into the psychology of the entrepreneur,
Yes.
and again, you have that psychology where you started, where your family, your relationship, but you're dealing with a lot of pressure. You're dealing with 10 times more pressure than everybody out there because literally if you have a job, you go to your job, you have to learn on something. You technically do what you like. I mean, in the most cases, because that's why you apply for this job. So
Hmm.
you like that thing, you get very good only at that thing that you like. By the way, you get paid for going 8 hours there, and then after you don't have to worry about anything anymore until
Right.
the next day. Wow, what a wonderful life, yeah. And
So I'm going to go back
and
to
then
to that point.
you
I'm going
go
to
to
go
the
back to a
entrepreneur, you go to the entrepreneurs, and now the entrepreneurs, they need to work, they need to know about everything, not only the thing they have to do things that they like, and they also have to do things that they don't like, because when you started a
right.
business and you don't have resources, you have to do things that you like, things that you don't like. Then this 9 to 5, forget about it. You will work Monday to Sunday for a year or two, and then, well, when the magic happens, it's amazing because I've been in both sides. And let me tell you something: when your employees send you home and you're at home making all the money doing anything, is so beautiful. It was so
Yeah.
beautiful that I couldn't even appreciate uh, the first time that happened to me. But now looking back, it was a spectacular what happened. But
Yeah.
all
Your
this
business,
pressure. Mhm.
yeah, your
It's in
business
your
becomes your
mind.
love affair, right? It
Hmm
becomes your
hmm
love affair with your
hmm
business.
hmm
And if you don't have people around you who love it the way you love it, love their businesses
Oh,
the way you love
you will
yours.
get angry with the people.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.